Today, we're going to show you why thinking like a route setter could transform your climbing. When creating a climb, it's really useful for route setters to be able to use terms which allow them to talk about the aspects of challenge contained in their climbs and the movement styles with a great deal of specificity. These can be broken down into 3 key terms: risk,
you want something done, just do it yourself. Don't
complexity,
anything, do it yourself. And I woke up one day, looked in the mirror, said, what you doing, man, do it yourself.
and intensity.
Just do it yourself. You don't need no one, just do it yourself. Pick up the skill, I picked up the work, now they can't
Now,
say
before we
anything.
delve further into this, let's define those terms. Let's start off with the most obvious to explain: intensity. This one is probably as simple as it gets. A boulder that is set to contain a high level of intensity essentially is one that requires more strength to complete the moves. And this can often be found on more basic board-style climbing. The example I think of when I picture a climber who favours an intense climbing style is someone like Chris Sharma. He usually chooses to do a big, powerful cut loose rather than a technical drop knee or a crazy coordination dyno. Our next term to define is complexity. A climb with a high level of complexity could mean it includes a long sequence with lots of steps to it, or that the sequence requires some advanced climbing techniques, or that the climber has to be extremely specific about how they perform the sequence. For me, Adam Ondra would be an excellent example of a climber who excels in complexity. He was the one who found a knee bar near the top of the Olympic finals route when no one else did, meaning he managed to do something complex to avoid using intensity or risk. Complexity can be viewed as how detailed the climb is. Lastly, let's talk about risk. Now, risk is a key part of the new school style of setting, often seen in comp sets and likened to a more gymnastic or parkour style. When we talk about risk, we aren't talking about danger or risk of injury. Here, we simply mean risk of not completing or sticking a move. Climbers who I look up to as being particularly skilled in a risky style of climbing are people like Janja Garnbret or Tomoe Narasaki. They prefer using momentum and taking risk in the interest of avoiding doing something physically difficult or complex. Right, so now we all know what those terms mean. I've got a couple of really good activities that I like to go through with my students just to thoroughly explore those ideas and get us talking about it a lot more. So let's go and do the first activity. Come on, Sam.
Hold on, before we do that, can we just do a Louis fit check?
A fit check?
Yeah.
Oh my, yes, of course you can.
I'm really enjoying this jumper.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
really
funny
like
you mention it, Sam. This jumper is part of our new classy line of merch. So we've got like a nice little embroidered logo, nice subtle print on the back as well. Oh, the hat as well. The hat. I'm also wearing a Catalyst hat. Maybe, I don't know if you noticed the massive Catalyst logo right here. Okay, very quickly then, folks, before we get into it, we've got a Christmas sale on at the moment, and it's real good. Me, Christmas Louis, to tell you all about the Christmas sale. We've got some banger deals for you, everybody. Number 1. I have created a series of downloadable training plans on a load of different topics. Each of those training plans comes with a detailed session plan. You've got loads of sessions to go through with loads of drills and exercises and projecting sessions, and a detailed reference document, written explanations, video demos of all the exercises, and I've got them on a whole bunch of different topics. There's some on dynamic movement, some on competition skills, footwork practice, a whole range of stuff. If you go to our website now, they are 20% off until Boxing Day. So even better deal, I think, for everybody. If you buy any of the embroidered t-shirts or any of the embroidered sweatshirts, whole range of really nice colours, they are really, really swish, I will send you a free training plan of your choice. As if that all wasn't good enough, everything else in the shop, aside from the things I've just mentioned, is going to be 15% off until Boxing Day, including, very exciting, those limited edition ink t-shirts that we did a few months ago. Everyone loved them, some of you didn't get one, they're back. They're in the shop, they're 15% off, but all of those deals that I described only available until Boxing Day. So as of this video coming out, you've got 1 week. So click the link in our description, head to our merch store, get yourself some nice t-shirts, some sweatshirts, get yourself a training plan. Happy Christmas, everybody. Back to the video, let's go. Right, activity 1 for exploring these terms and understanding them a little bit better. This one is more fun with some friends. You can do it on your own, but definitely get some friends for it. It's way more fun. Sam has agreed to be my lovely assistant for today.
I will be your friend, just for today.
You'll be my friend for today? Oh, thank you so much, Sam. So, for this exercise, you are going to pretend to be boulder critics. So pretend you're being a food critic, but for boulders. So we're going to review some boulders. I am going to prepare a menu of climbs for Sam. I know, delicious. I will choose only the finest vintages. I'm going to choose 3 climbs. They're all going to be the same grade. And then Sam and I are going to go around and climb them together. As you can guess, based on the theme of today's video, they each represent different styles of climbing. Now, Sam's task is to climb the boulders with me. Actually, not that easy because I've picked quite tricky ones. But we're going to try and climb the boulders together. I actually would say you don't need to complete the boulder to successfully do this exercise. The whole exercise is just about thinking about these ideas a little bit more. So if you don't manage to do the climb, that's fine. See, I've given you a get out already.
Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
So we're going to go around, we're going to do all the climbs together, and then it's review time. Right, Sam. Boulder 1 from today's tasting menu.
Okay.
They're all V4. It's a V4 tasting menu. I've chosen this green boulder for you.
Okay.
I'm not going to give any hints or anything. I'll climb it with you, but I'm not going to say any of my thoughts about what style we're looking at here.
My warm-up is holding the camera.
Yeah, I know. You're very warmed up now. Great start. Gosh. Come on. Yeah, man. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, that one.
Yeah!
That makes more sense.
I didn't say anything. I just went, ooh! Boulder 2 of our V4 tasting menu for Sam. We're going to be looking at this blue guy on the slab here.
The main meal, you could say.
I think this might be the course I find the most delicious. I enjoy this boulder, but I feel like that's already giving hints.
It is, yeah.
So I'll shut up. You give me the camera. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Go on.
Okay.
Oh, good effort.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Hard to stop.
Yeah.
In the right position.
Yeah. Keep trying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
Whoa, well held. Go for it. Go for the crimp. Go on.
Crimp, yeah.
Yeah. Hand over the top. Little finger. Bing! What a finish, right? Okay, our final boulder on the V4 tasting menu.
Okay.
This red climb, which Sam is thrilled about. Can't wait to climb this.
If you could design a boulder that would likely be one of my least favorite styles, it would be this. Holds in a vertical orientation in a vertical line. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
We'll talk about how you're feeling about it later.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Go on, Sam.
Oh, Gaston.
Oh, good effort. Yeah, go on, Sam. So good. Ooh, very fancy. Come on. So good. Come on, man. Yes, Sam. I filmed it so well as well. Go on. Nice t-shirt, by the way. Where'd you get that?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, that thing.
This is the embroidered classy merch.
Is
from
it really? You know, I heard something about
captaincutloose.com.
that earlier in the video.
If you want it,
Yeah?
Christmas sale,
Oh, really?
in a bundle.
Will I get as strong as you?
No, but you'll look good. Oh, what fun. What a nice menu. Oh, it was nice.
That's
It
a
was
delicious
nice.
tasting menu.
Yeah, I'm full. I'm definitely full.
good.
No more, please.
I love the food critic analogy. It's so
Yeah,
much
it's
fun. You
good.
make so many different jokes. Okay, so Sam has now had a taste of all the boulders, and it's time for us to review them. So the way this is going to work, and you can do this with your friends if you're doing this exercise yourself, we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Point to the boulder you thought was the riskiest. Then we'll point to the most intense, and then point to the climb that felt the most complex. Should we do intensity first?
Sure.
Okay. Point to the most intense. 3, 2, 1. Please point that way.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do risky next.
Oh,
Easy, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
right?
definitely,
Okay. I
definitely.
thought that was such a perfect example of you fell off it a bunch of times, and then when you did the move correctly, you're like, actually not that hard.
So true, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, that's a perfect example of a risky boulder or a risky move on a boulder. And so, okay, well, that makes things really easy.
Yeah.
Point to the most complex, Sam. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Intended.
Intended
Yeah,
sequence.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish next to the grade tag of every climb, there was a little note that said risk high or low, whatever it might be, intensity high or low, whatever, complexity medium to high, whatever it might be. Because it almost tells you how you're supposed to engage with the climbs. Like, for example, this blue one, if you were falling off it a few times and you thought, oh, God damn it, I normally like flash V4, but I've fallen off this a bunch of times. And then you looked and the tag said, intensity low, complexity low, risk high, what might you think?
I might think, oh, you're supposed to kind of fall off it because it's risky.
Yeah, I might fall off it a bunch of times in the process of learning how to do the move. It's supposed to be a risky move. Fine, okay. Okay, maybe a really good example.
Okay, yeah.
If, let's say you did that red climb, which you did, and you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm pulling so hard. Or maybe you were like getting near the top and running out of strength.
Yeah.
And then you looked at the tag and it said intensity low, complexity high. What would you think?
I'd go down and feel very confused. Because I'd be like, I'm pulling so hard, that must mean there's a different way of doing it.
Bingo, yes.
Yeah.
So I think kind of what we're saying is if I can see roughly the intention of the route setter and I understand a little bit about the style of challenge that I'm up against, it gives me clearer expectations of how I'm supposed to engage with the climb.
Kind of illustrates the lack of nuance in grading, right? Because we've just completed 3 climbs at the same grade, the exact same grade.
Yeah.
But the way they're climbed
But they're
is so
completely different.
Completely
Like,
different.
If I said we're going to do 3 V4s,
oh, cool.
it means nothing really. But then if I said, oh, we're going to do a risky V4, a complex V4, and an intense V4, like, what a varied tasting menu.
So much more nuance.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Cool.
Now let's go for what I think is one of the most interesting parts of this. We can also use these terms to describe our preferences as climbers, right? So, okay, easy one. Did you have any preferences of the 3 climbs we just did? Which one felt the easiest to you?
The green.
Which one felt the hardest?
The red.
Which one felt the mediumest? Oh,
green.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, okay.
Do you agree or not?
Oh no, completely.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
thought that's what it looked like to you, and that's kind of what I was expecting.
But do you agree for yourself as well?
Yeah, I would actually also agree for myself. I think we've got a relatively similar style of climbing. But let's go into that, because that's exactly what I mean by this. I think a lot of climbers, and this is also where we get onto some of my mindset stuff. You know, I love talking about language and mindset. A lot of climbers, incredibly relevant one. They'll come to lessons with me specifically saying, I am a static climber. I can't do dynos. Teach me. Yeah, very classic phrase. Or I'd say, I am a really bad slab climber. I'm just bad at slabs. And when I talk that way, it sounds permanent and it can't be fixed when obviously we practice and we get better at this stuff. But I was not practicing it because I told myself I'm just permanently a bad slab climber, or I was other students not doing dynos because they'd already told themselves, oh, I'm just a static climber. I think a much more growth mindset way of talking about this would be, okay, instead of me saying I am a bad slab climber, I could say I'm way more familiar with intense and risky climbing styles, and I haven't practiced complex climbing styles as much, so I often find slab climbs a little bit trickier. That is actually, I'd say, truer than me saying I am a bad slab climber. But I'm a bad slab climber doesn't actually give me much information. If you were to describe your climbing style as preferences according to those 3 terms, what would you say? Let's see it in the chat. What would you say, Sam?
How are we scoring this?
Why don't you score yourself out of 10?
So risk, I think, would be middle 5. I think I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I think you're pretty decent at it.
I think I'm okay at it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room as well. I want to reflect that in my score as well.
Very good.
Complexity, less so. I would say a 3.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't particularly, if we take that red, we know I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It being low reflects me not enjoying it, and then me also being a lot of room for improvement.
But I think, and I'm sure this is the same for everybody, those 2 things are incredibly closely tied together.
100%. I think the opposite could be said for intensity, which for me I think is a 9.
Yes,
honestly.
I would agree. Yes. Sam, strong boy.
Well, I also think one of my superpowers in climbing is just trying hard.
Yeah.
I didn't really realize it was a superpower until I talked to people and they were like, oh, one of my weaknesses or something I struggle with is trying hard. And I'm like, oh, that's something I do not struggle with and I really enjoy. So I think my score, it would definitely be a 9.
I might have fairly similar to you.
Really?
So I would maybe give myself a 10 for risk.
Yeah,
maybe
I think so.
a 7 or an 8 for intensity.
Yeah.
I'm not uncomplex, but it's definitely not my preferred style, and I've got the least familiarity with it. So I might say a 5.
Really? I think
complexity.
maybe it should be higher.
I think you've practiced it a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe at one point it was a 5.
Yes, yeah.
But
or
maybe
younger
now
Louis. Maybe I
you're
can
more
give a 6
balanced.
or a 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you,
No,
Sam.
I think it's true.
But the final piece of this puzzle, I think, is to look at how we have clear choices on every climb we do. And those choices are still related to the different terms that we've learned.
Yeah.
So, really fun activity. I'm going to pick a much easier climb. Specifically what I'd want is I'd say, okay, Sam, I'm going to give you as much time as you want. You need to get on this easy climb, and you need to work out 3 distinct sequences for me.
I think I know where this
You can see where this is going, yeah. One of those sequences should demonstrate a clear focus on risk, one on intensity, one on complexity. When Sam's ready, he'll go, okay, Louis, watch this, and he will demonstrate his 3 sequences. I then do my best to guess which sequence is which. And if I can guess correctly, Sam has done a good job.
All right.
Should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
This
All
sounds
right.
good.
So Sam has prepared 3 sequences for us to have a look at on this white climb. Don't tell us which one is which as you do it. Yeah?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So Sam, show us sequence 1. Go on, Sam. Oh, I wonder what this is. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to keep my guess to myself, because who knows, maybe I'll see some different stuff on the other 2 sequences that's going to make me change my mind. Oh, go on. Yeah, okay.
Any ideas on that one?
Yeah, pretty clear ideas on what you're doing there. Okay. Oh, lovely. Really nice, Sam. My answers for what you're doing there, I thought it was really clear.
Oh, yeah?
Sequence 1 was the risk sequence.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't sure about that until I saw the second lap. I was like, ooh, it could be risky. He is doing some relatively intense stuff here. It's definitely not complex. Then I saw sequence 2. I was like, okay, well, this is the intensity lap, because he's basically climbing it like a gorilla. Perfect, well done, Sam. And then that made it pretty obvious for the third one. It was definitely the complexity lap. You were doing some toe hooks, you were doing some drop knees, you were doing some heel hooks. Very, very fancy, detailed stuff. So let me know if your guesses matched mine. And if not, start some arguments in the chat. Right, there we go, folks. That is the end of the video. Thank you so much for staying with us and learning loads of cool things. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Sam, for being such an excellent student. You enjoy it?
No, sorry.
Boring.
No, it's terrible.
Boring. I get like I'm worse at climbing. As always, did you have fun?
I did. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, not under pressure to say that at all.
Good. Gun to my head.
What would you say your main takeaways are from this? Because I've got some wrap-up points that I wanted to make. What were you going to say?
I think if your aim is to be overall better at climbing and improve your climbing generally, then having preferences is probably quite inefficient.
Oh man, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, no, this is exactly what I was going to wrap up on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Say more.
I was just going to say, if you can iron them out a bit, you'll become a better climber, I think.
Perfect. Okay, you did the outro for me. So
sweet.
Exactly as Sam says, folks. Well done, Sam. Having preferences as to how you'd like to climb things is inherently inefficient. Yeah, obviously it's natural for us all to have preferences of a certain style that we like to have. Like I, as I said earlier, prefer to do something risky or intense to avoid doing something complex. Now there are lots of climbs where my preferences might fit the climb I'm doing. If I get on paddle dynos or muscly boulders, great, I feel comfortable. I'm making choices based on my preferences which fit the climb I'm doing. But then if I start trying to do really intense, risky stuff when I'm supposed to be doing something complex, well, now I'm just choosing to do harder moves based on my own preferences. So exactly as Sam says, think about what your preferences are and smooth out those preferences with some diligent practice. So very last thing before we let you go, if you think Sam and I look extraordinarily sexy right now, which you do, you've got the sexy black t-shirt, I've got the sexy teal t-shirt, all the colours are very sexy. It's Christmas, everybody's sexy. What? It's Christmas.
Everybody's sexy time.
So if you want to look sexy and gorgeous like me and Sam, and get very strong and smart like me and Sam, get yourself one of those Christmas bundles. Look in the description, there'll be a link to the Catalyst web shop. Is that what we call it? Web shop?
I don't think so. No, I've never heard that before.
No one's ever. So check in the description, there'll be a link to the merch store. Have a look, get yourself a Christmas bundle. Happy Christmas, everybody. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Peace out. Bye-bye.
Well done, Sam. You're excellent today, man. Good work.
No, sorry,
Smart and beautiful. Right.